Good afternoon. This is the Petersfield School in Hampshire presenting for BBC School Report. My name is Justine and I will be your presenter today.
My name is Harry. Good afternoon. Today's headlines are:
how long do teenagers really spend on their phones?
a student's perspective of a trip to the Somme.
What is DOV and why do people do it?
Statistics show that teens aren't being honest about cyberbullying.
What is BYOD and how will it affect our learning?
And finally, we will introduce you to a marvellous evening of maths, dance and music.
But now, Holly, Amy and Mercedes have been asking students here at the Petersfield School about how much time they really spend on their phones.
Do you spend ages on your phone or tablet? Is your device taking over your social life? Well, we're going to tell you how much our generation spends on their tablets and phones.
So how long on average do you spend on your phone/tablet?
Probably about 4 to 6 hours a day.
When did you get your first own device?
I was probably about 9.
How many devices do you own at this precise moment?
2.
What else do you use your devices for, like games, homework?
Homework, social media, talking to friends and games.
Thank you for being here.
So, how long on average do you spend on your phone or tablet?
Probably about 10 minutes, half an hour a day, not that long.
Okay, so when did you get your first device that you own?
This Christmas.
Okay, and how many devices do you own?
Three including something that my mum lets me use, but generally just one.
And what do you use your devices for?
Emergencies and just fun.
Okay, and do you think that your phone or tablet or computer helps with your homework or just gets in the way of it?
I think it helps your homework because you get to do it online, and you can look up some answers so if you don't know an answer to questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Did you experience cyberbullying as a teenager? And if so, did you speak up? For a study shows that teens are not being honest on this subject, as Alex explains.
Thank you. First, let's have a look at some statistics. More than 1/3 of people have had cyber threats online, but only 1 in 10 of teens admit to being cyberbullied. 95% of teenagers admit to ignoring cyberbullying if they see it. Finally, more than 80% of teens use smartphones, which makes them more likely to be bullied. Now we are going to interview Mrs. Hepworth. What do you think of cyberbullying in general?
I think it's wrong. There's a lot of it that goes on. Obviously, we pick up a little bit of it in school when it comes into school.
Okay. Do you think that teachers, when they receive the cyberbullying, do you think they have sufficient training and time to be able to deal with it?
I imagine that a lot of teachers do, yes, because a lot of it's just common sense. But I think perhaps the pastoral team would be especially good at that sort of thing because of our background, because of our training, and also because we deal with it a lot more.
How would you respond if someone you knew, say your children, were cyberbullied?
And it depends what sort of cyberbullying you mean. Give me an example.
Sort of like if they got like abusive text messages.
I would tell them to delete those messages as soon as they came in. Same with any messages on most social media.
Thank you for your time. As you can see, cyberbullying remains a growing issue in today's society. Please try to stay safe online. Thank you. And back to the studio.
You may have heard of the Duke of Edinburgh Award, but why do people really take part? And what do you have to do? We have Sam reporting on this.
What is DOV? DOV stands for Duke of Edinburgh, and it's an award for young people where they do a volunteering section, a skill and a physical activity for 3 or 6 months, and then a big expedition where they have to go on the camp for a night.
What do you do at DOV?
I am a DOV leader, which means I help train people, and I help on the expedition as well, making sure that they don't get lost, meeting them at certain points along the way and so on.
Do you enjoy it, or does it just waste your time?
I love it, it's brilliant. It's great seeing all the young people actually enjoying themselves and succeeding, and they get such a buzz from actually completing an expedition where they walk for 2 days in a row. It's just such good fun.
Do you enjoy teaching and helping students with it?
Yep, kind of the same thing. Yeah, I enjoy teaching them because teaching is what I do, so it's lovely to be able to teach something outside my subject area and see students to actually develop.
Thank you.
Enjoy DAV.
Yes, I enjoy DAV because I get to learn new skills.
Yeah, I really like it. I learn loads of new skills, but it does take up a lot of time.
You enjoy teaching and helping students with it?
I do. It's very enjoyable because as it's voluntary and everyone who's there is there because they've chosen to be there. So it'll be a lot more informal and it's a good way of kind of getting to know the real students and getting to know the real people.
What do you want the students to gain from it?
Well, the DAV is really all about getting a sense of accomplishment when you've gone ahead and done something that's time consuming and might be in some cases quite difficult, but you've gone ahead and done it because it's the right thing to do. And I think the students get a tremendous sense of satisfaction from that.
What are you gaining from it? It's a big time commitment.
It is a big time commitment. If I'm really honest, I think that many teachers, myself included, feel that when you're really sort of helping students to do something which they find satisfying and rewarding and useful, then that's very rewarding for yourself. So it's probably really just that.
Thank you.
And now we have a new and exciting way to enhance our learning here at the Petersfield School, which involves using the technology we teens have grown to love, as reported by Poppy and Eleanor.
Next up we have Eleanor, who will be interviewing the teacher who came up with BYOD and some of the students.
So, Mr. Timmins, what exactly is BYOD?
BYOD is Bring Your Own Device. It basically gives students a chance to bring their own device into school, log on to our secure Wi-Fi network and learn in lesson, out of lesson, bring in what they do from home electronically and submit it to the teacher through TPS Smarts.
How do you think this will affect the children's learning?
Well, technology's changed so much, there's so much online now, that means that we want to be able to access the same sort of stuff that students are using in their own time to enhance their learning and make it relevant, and also really help them to think about the safety aspects of learning online and social networking, etc. But it's just got so much opportunity for us to enhance the way we teach in lesson as well.
Do you think there are any negatives to BYOD?
The thing with Bring Your Own Device is because there are lots of apps on the iPads. The students might get distracted from their work and instead go on the apps.
Thank you, and back to the studio.
Recently, students here went on an educational trip to the Somme, and we've been given access to a student's perspective on the trip, as Charlotte and Jasmine report.
From World War I, the British Army suffered 420,000 casualties. The French lost 200,000 men, and the Germans 500,000. 72,000 men were missing from the 1st of July to the 13th of November 1916. 60% of all officers on the first day of the Somme were killed. 1,700,000 shells were fired in 7 days. Each soldier carried 66 pounds of equipment.
Harry here will be reporting on our evening of Marvellous Maths, putting maths to music.
Thanks, Justine. Currently, I'm sat opposite Tom, a performer in the Marvellous Maths evening held last night. So, Tom, describe the performance to me. How was maths integrated into dance?
The dance sort of integrated by the tutting, which you'd think is dance, and they're not a very likely pair, but it worked quite well because you can make shapes with yourself. You can make volume and everything else, but it's quite interesting with how it kind of rolls together into dance from maths.
So how did you enjoy the performance? What were the best bits for you and the others?
Oh, I love the performance, mainly because I like entertaining people, but in like an interesting way. And with maths, you can kind of, they're like, oh, you're logical. But and in dance, they're really quite impressed. So if you mix them both together, you get quite a good result, really.
So now that it's all finished, what did you learn from the whole experience?
I learned kind of that you can mix two subjects that you wouldn't really expect to go together. I mean, dance, which is big, extravagant, sort of lively, and maths, which is sort of like numbers and just like but they can really mix together quite well if done in the right way. So, I don't...
Fantastic. Thank you for being here, Tom. Welcome back. Currently, I'm opposite Miss Colenso, Head of Maths, who organised this event. So, Miss, tell me more about the Marvellous Maths evening.
Okay, Marvellous Maths is an event that's been going on at this school for 6 years. It started as a result of me talking to Miss Baker, the head of dance, and I realised there was lots and lots of maths in dance, but that we didn't talk about it. And it was an opportunity for us to show how maths was linked to our performing arts. It started like that, but we've extended it to including music and art, and it's an opportunity for everybody to see that maths is creative and it's also in other subjects.
So, what did you think of the overall performance idea? How did you enjoy the real thing?
Performance idea is great because actually everyone loves doing their dance. Loads and loads of people want to come and dance and have the opportunity to show it to their parents. What it gives us an opportunity to do is also then extend it into the maths area so that people can also show their parents the maths they've been doing in a kind of performance way. So we do lots of activities involving people, and that was really, really good. And there was a real buzz and a real liveliness last night. It was really good.
So how do you think the students enjoyed it themselves?
Well, I can only judge it by the kind of noise they were making. They loved the dance, they liked showing their art off, they liked the music, and there was just lots and lots of people helping each other, showing people the stuff they'd done, trying to challenge their friends with their magic they'd been doing. It was good.
Thank you for being here. That'll be all for the afternoon news.
We'll be back later, but until then, good afternoon and goodbye.